Good people of Fwoosh, welcome to yet another Playday. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Playday. These do not happen nearly enough. And that's not from lack of stuff to show off. It's just, oh man, there's so many toys coming out and fiddling, and I want to paint these things and put this stuff together, and it's never ending. So I'm going to start trying to do smaller Playdays because this is not everything. I still have boxes in there to open. I still have casts of paint. I still have things to clean up, but you know how it goes. Find the time when you can. This is just a small sample, but if you like what you see, go down to the links in the description. Go check out the artists. Go buy some third-party stuff. Show them some love. Let's start things off on a low note with the Bandai America Stranger Things Hopper. Now, I mentioned this during a weekly, I think, and all I said was, don't buy it. But I wanted to give you a closer look. Visually, it's not bad. It doesn't look like Hopper, but I'm not used to seeing Hopper clean shaven. And that goes to the same for the clothes. There's some textures, there's some wrinkles. But then you actually pick it up and there's some floppiness all around, just loose. I mean, I guess it holds the pose you put it in, but it's just there. I guess the biggest offenders are mid-torso, the hips, and the shoulders. Speaking of that, it's like somebody who's never picked up a Bandai toy with those covers coming out over the shoulders, decided to design a toy, and then just asked without pictures, diagrams, nothing. They were just like, hey, how does that work? Oh, there's a cover in there? Okay, because you move it around and that thing just kind of flops. In most positions, it doesn't even do a good job of actually hiding the articulation. At the hips, it's ball joint coming out, angled down a bit, and it doesn't even hold his weight. That's on top of this actually being huge. It was advertised as 6-inch, I think, and this ain't 6-inch. In fact, this is still taller than Mattel WWE. I guess if you're a hardcore Stranger Things fan, it may be passable, or custom fodder, parts and pieces. Try tightening it up, but I feel like I wasted my money. And I don't say that a lot. I can find a lot of good things in a lot of plastic, but not here. But I saved you some money. Over in greener pastures, I did just get the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian Artillery Stormtrooper. Since it uses the Stormtrooper body that we've been seeing for a while now, I figured, hey, we'll throw this in a play day and just take a quick look at it. There's your Stormtrooper blaster. This is new, I think. The actual mortar launcher. Ooh, hinged on the legs. Ball joint at the bottom so you can get the base flat. One grenade, or in this case, mortar shells. When I saw this in the episode, I didn't realize that it was these that was shooting out of here. So we have extras on the backpack. That's nice and snug. Fourth one in there, see what that does? Oh yeah, that works good. That peg doesn't seem very long though. Is that gonna stay on there? Well, oh, okay. It doesn't hold up to the shake test, but yellow's fairly clean. White is very clean. Like how there's some yellow on this canister back here just to tie it all together. Good elbow range on that new Stormtrooper body. Knee. I know some people hate it, but he can still get in a running pose. Oh, and how about this? Oh, kneeling pose too, which works perfect with the mortar. Doesn't quite fit, but at least it disappears in there. Can't help it. I love different Stormtroopers, different clone trooper, different troopers in general. You throw a different paint job on it or some kind of color, and I'm there. I'm in. Backpack gets in the way of torso articulation, but take that off. Look at that. Hula hooping. I like this pauldron too, and with the dumbbell at the neck, it doesn't get in the way as much as you would think. This is going to look good with the flamethrower trooper. Oh, I forgot about Butterfly. So good. Plus, there's another figure for the Mandalorian shelf. You know me. I will make room for more Mando stuff. And speaking of that, I finally found these at Walmart. The cheapy Mandalorian and child figures. I think they're 5.5 inch. At least that's how Amazon lists them. And I know the body is probably terrible here and too much tape on the package. This is just another off-ramp on the long highway of looking for scale Mandalorian helmets. I figured, this being what it is, this would just pop off, but it doesn't. You know what that means. Ooh. Now I've already replaced the Hasbro Black Series head with a casting cave helmet, and ooh, look at that. But this cheapy one is nearly the exact same size. Popping that off, and that's not good, but that is interesting. Got a big ball joint. Would have to put some blue tack in there, but even just sitting up there, that's not bad. The silvers don't quite match, but that's okay. If you're wanting an upgrade and you're at Walmart and you see one of these in the aisle, I can't even remember the price on it. It's been a little bit since I picked it up, but it was fairly cheap. I look at it on Amazon, it's $15, while the child is about $11. And looking at that, we're also always looking for another Grogu to shove into the display, and I thought, you know what? That seems close. And, oh, well, scale, obviously not too big a concern in this line, because here is this 5.5 inch one. Here's the Mafex, the SH Figure Arts, and the Black Series. I've been using the Mafex because of the green and the proportions and everything. This, too big. And that's the same for the Pram. You put this lid piece on top. It's with the Mafex in it, but it is large. Not bad for a cheap-ass toy, though. Not a bad sculpt, though. I find everything I pick up beats the original Black Series version. Another set of heads we're constantly trying to replace and find new versions of is the Mattel Masters of the Universe Masterverse Revelation figures. And I got this Skeletor head from BarbαρossaCustoms.com. And yes, I spelled it Barbossa several times before actually looking at the card, and it says Barbarossa. But it looks like the face and the hood are cast in two different colors, so I'm not worried about marring the yellow or rubbing it off or something. I want to say this was for an Origins head back when I ordered it on eBay, but it looks better here. It may be slightly large, but I like the purple, like it's a different material than this. And this is the Classics chest piece, I think. And I'm just now realizing that I'm attempting to take away all the Revelation design to this and making it a larger classic version with some updated detail, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't even worried about popping the head on. He goes as far as to making a socket and everything. Like I said, that may be large. I'm still making decisions. So many Skeletor options. We all know Plunderlings at this point, and to get hands upon a Plunderlong just to see what's going on, ooh, I'm excited. They did say that there may be some updates before this is actually produced. They're still tweaking things, even as is. I can't think of anything that I would really want changed. This coat piece, very, very soft, so it gets out of the way of articulation. And speaking of that, look at that ab crunch. There's a swivel at the waist with a hinge above that, and then a ball sticking off there, so you can get some tilt above. Ooh, so much arc, so much forward. This time around, there's biceps to go along with the hinge and swivel at the elbow. And since this one's wearing a jacket, there's a cuff that's sculpted on, but it's a floating piece. So if you take that off, you have bare arms for reuse with other Plunderlongs. That's the same thing down here. There's some shorts, and then there's, well, I don't know. Is that supposed to be a pants bottom or a boot top? Either way, these are also floating pieces down here. The cutlass or the sword. Belt piece, I'm not sure if this is reuse or why that is painted and the rest isn't. But again, this is just a test shot. See how everything's going. And look at the facial features. There's some deviousness. And when I first pulled it out of the package, I thought, wait, this is about the size of a Plunderling, but they are actually taller and skinnier, hence Plunderlong. These are just manic balls of energy causing mischief all over the place. These guys put a little thought behind it. They scheme, and it's awesome that I can spend, 2 minutes here and come up with backgrounds on both of them just from the looks alone. Hopefully it won't be too long before Plunderlongs make it to everyone's shelf. Or I want to see some painted ones. I want to see some finished product, because yeah, this gets me ready. I ordered some weapons from GridIron Studios, and what these are upgrades for a G.I. Joe Classified Series Viper, or whoever you want to put this on. It's essentially, oh wow, a very, very nice backpack with some rockets in it. Separate piece, some grenades across the bottom, and that comes into play with the other part, because here's the rocket launcher. I like that the launcher's black and then the rockets are blue, so there's a slight bit of contrast. Very snug fit. Not just going to fall out. The backpack, if you turn the figure upside down, they may slide out, but it's not too bad. Then there's also the gun, the grenade launcher. Nice silver up here on the top. Just clean. That's what comes to mind, just clean. Wait, do these load into something? But they come with this sticky tack on the back. And I went back to the page and looked, and that actually goes here. I only have one Viper to try this out on, but I'm going to do it anyway, because this looks badass. Oh, and whatever that is, it sticks very nice. I was also wondering why it didn't have a peg to just plug into the back, but the peg would have been up here on this thin spot. So maybe it wasn't sturdy if it was up there. And if I sound like I'm far away, it's because I'm under the camera looking straight, trying to get that centered. Wow, that sticks really good. I was going to put this in the left hand, but the stock is molded, folded over, so it kind of blocks left-hand grip. It should go right into the right. Right into the right. Launcher also works better in the right hand. It's sculpted to actually lay on the shoulder. I put it in the left and it wants to go off to the side because there's no side-to-side action to the left hand. Oh, that makes them badass. These integrate so well into the front of the chest. It adds a little bit more color. Oh, like it was made for it. Here's an upgrade I've been looking for ever since I got the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Bad Batch tech. These goggles come from Looper Ward, who is actually local to me. Well, fairly local, 2 hours away, but this is Arkansas, so that's fairly local. But he used the file from Landspeeder Luke. He said he did tweak it a little bit to make it fit the head better. This is exactly what this figure needed. I mean, it still doesn't solve the put the helmet on and the goggles become part of the helmet conundrum, but hey, standing on the shelf like this, and I'm pretty happy. He even printed out a data pad and painted it up too. So now I feel like my tech is almost complete. Because he also sent along some do-it-yourself clear yellow film for me to get in there and Dremel out the eye lenses and then this visor that comes down and replace it with this. That way when you put the helmet on, you can see the eyes through the goggles here too, which I think that's how it was in the show, right? So I really appreciate it because, oh man, that was the biggest heartbreak with this figure was no goggles. Plus now I get to do a little tinkering. That segues beautifully into the Bad Batch AZ 3D print from John Walker Customs. I had to do some painting here. I put the off green in places and then dry brush the gray on top just to have the details pop a little bit more. Oh, and then the yellow inside the eyes. But for the most part, it was essentially put together, put on a stand, have a droid. And this is an import stand of some kind. I can't remember if Mofx, Bandai, something. I dremeled a hole in the backpack to hold it up and then it'd stay all the way. And there are designs I probably should have painted into parts and pieces, but as is, it's the character on the shelf. And I'm getting way past my prime when it comes to painting tiny little details like that. There is some articulation at the shoulders and there's swappable arms that are straighter, I think. That's all I need though. And then finally, there is this handsome devil. This comes from Ray Ortiz, who is usually in the live streams, either Fwooshcast or Monday Fwoosh Live. And this is blowing my mind. It is a Mythic Legion's Robo. I wear shorty shorts. That's how badass I am. The Fwoosh blue armor with the silver highlights, even for the rivets and everything. Ray knows what I like. I love it when these studs and stuff are painted. And the beard even captures the aesthetic of Mythic Legions. It's the facial features, the hat. Oh man. Even down here on the boots, little silver studs. But if I want the ugly mug protected, there's also an alternate Fwoosh blue helmet with the same silver to match the rest of the armor. There's a Fwoosh blue shield with some gold highlights, and then the sword of the Fwoosh. I'm gonna have to do a separate playday for all the Robos that have shown up in my mailbox for the different properties. There's Mythic Legions now, and Star Wars, and Marvel Legends, and a couple of others, but you guys are insane. Basically, at the end of the day, when you get to play, that's a good day. Like I said at the beginning, go check out some of these artists. Check out their goods because, man, there's a lot of fantastic work out there. Or if you were wondering about the artillery trooper or if that cheap-ass Mandalorian head fit on the Black Series body, there you go. Or if you just wanted to see yet another Robo that is, now that I have them all standing here like this, I am not this tall. I am 5'9" on a good day. But that's okay. That is what playing is all about. It's taking yourself out of your reality and putting you somewhere else that's more calming, more enjoyable. Reality always drags you back, kicking and screaming, but that's okay. We can't have Playday all the time, but when we do, it puts us in a better mood, an even keel, a calmness. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this. To escape, briefly. And that gives us the willpower to go on in everyday life. I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyway, have yourself a Playday. That's all any of us can ask for. If you enjoyed this Playday, are you sick of me saying Playday yet? Comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. Wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Yeah, I need more Vipers to give them more weapons. That's the thing about these third-party G.I. Joe guys. It makes me want to buy more G.I. Joes, which is not a bad thing, which I may have done anyway, but now that I can arm them all with different things and change them up a bit, that just makes me want more.